Hi everyone, this is Koinzell here. So I have the Koinzell's Yelan Math series summary here, where we have compiled all the 50 math guides into as concise as I can into a PowerPoint presentation. I wanted to make it a cheat sheet, but there's just way too many information. So if I make it a cheat sheet, it's going to be a very small font. So in the end, I decided to make it just a summary. So it's about 4 slides per comp. Okay, let's go. So before we start, this is a summary of all the math guides for Yelan I've done so far. It's about 15. I put 15 plus because at the point of writing this, I'm not sure how many there is, but yeah, it's 15. And these are all pre-release. So when Yelan is released, we will test out the rotations as well and compare accordingly. If you want more details, please refer to the respective math guides provided in the video description, as we'll go straight to comps and conclusions here. So first off, we'll talk about VapeEC Comp, and I'm going to have 4 slides for it. So this is the first slide where we talk about the comp composition. So Sucrose is going to be the budget option from Kazuha. Amber is used here for the easy pyro sewer setup and the fact that she will not steal vapes. Toma, you can use Toma for shielding as the flex option, and it's going to be a harder pyro sewer setup. And he may steal vapes as well, especially since Yelan doesn't have that 1U from Sinxu's sword contact, rain sword contact. Yanfei shield support C4. This is only available with C4 Yanfei. And also it's harder pyro sewer setup in my opinion. And we have Yomiya or Hu Tao as the primary main, though I would recommend Hu Tao, especially if you have C4 plus Yelan. And these are the rotations. As always, I'm not going to go through the rotations per se, but these are the rotations. The rotations are all here. Okay, I'm not going to go through them. You can pause and look at them if you want to, whenever you need to follow and see how it works. Alright. Now, next, we have the artifacts and stats. So you see here, this nice little emblem circlet. It should tell you the emblem is the way to is the choice artifact of choice, right? So target ER is C0 250 ER, C1 plus 190 ER. But for Sacrificial and Favonius, since their weapon substack, or rather their weapon effect gives you more energy in a way. So Sacrificial C0 is 190 ER, C1 plus is 135 ER. Favonius C0 is 220 ER, C1 plus is 161.3 ER, because that's the lowest you can go with Favonius weapon side effect. So 135 is slightly higher than Sacrificial's 30.6, 130.6. If you want to talk about full HP versus crit, this is the ranking. But for VVVape, please note that ER sense is required. I'm not telling you to use HP sense when it's VVVape. I'm telling you to use ER sense because the VR requirement is very, very high. Unless you're maybe something talking about C1 plus Sacrificial, where you need 135 ER, then obviously you use HP sense, right? C1 plus Favonius, you have 161.3, so again, you do not need ER sense. You use HP sense. So apply a bit of common sense here. Okay. Artifact ranking. This is the ranking itself for emblem being the best, and you have 2 HOD, 2 TOTM, which more or less performs the same as 2 Nobles with 2 Tenacity, and this pair is still better than this and this. Okay. Now TLDR, HP Heizou crit is highly recommended unless the difference in artifact value for you is a 0 CV versus 50 CV, and again, if you need ER sense to hit the ER targets, please use the ER sense. Don't blindly follow this, yeah? Okay. For emblem, it's highly recommended as it is 13% better at C0 and 3 to 6% better at C1+, than the next best artifact, which is 2 HOD with 2 tenacity or 2 Nobles with 2 tenacity. Okay, so this is a TLDR. Next, VVVape weapons. You see here these 3 weapons. I've placed the top as well as the second best or third best here. It depends on situation. This is the ranking itself. This is collated from our weapon comparison previously. So you have the C0 ranking, C1 plus ranking, and C4 plus ranking. Why is it at this specific constellations? Because this is the constellation where there are some changes to the ranking. So this is why we do this. Okay. So obviously Aqua is the best, Stringless is the worst here, and this is the order. Okay. Now, bear in mind for allergy, like I said, there are a lot of conditions to determine whether allergy is better for your overall team DPS, and if you want to find more about that, please refer to the VVVape weapon comparison guide itself. This is, like I said, a summary. Okay, so TLDR for weapons at C0, use our R3 plus Sacrificial Bow instead of pulling for Aqua, which is only 1.7% better, i.e. R1 Aqua is only 1.7% better than R3 plus Sacrificial Bow, but this applies only in VVV with the extreme ER requirements involved. At C1 plus, Aqua performs significantly better than Sacrificial Bow. It's a typical tier difference, 22 to 30%, but it's a lot better than 1.7%, right? But even that being said, right, Sacrificial Bow is still the second best, followed by Favonius at C1 plus. At C4 plus, Slingshot overtakes Sacrificial Bow as the second best, as you can see here. And even Skyward and Allergy performs better than Favonius. Yeah, at C4 plus. Again, if you want the details, refer to the actual VVV weapon comparison math guide itself. Next, VVV constellations and refinements. So these are the individual constellation values. This is calculated using Aqua, and this is R1 to R5 Aqua. Okay, the value that you get from R1 to R5 Aqua at each constellation, which not much difference, is 16 to 18%. The constellation value, on the other hand, for C0 C6 is really nice. Okay, now, but the TLDR is very straightforward. At C0 and C1, use R3 plus Sacrificial Bow. Only go for Aqua if you've already gotten C2 plus. Okay. You want details? Check out the specific math guide. Yelan has the highest C0 C6 value for her damage I've seen so far. Don't bother with R1 to R5 though. 16 to 15% is pretty bad. Okay. Next, we have Taser Comp. So likewise, again, Sucrose has the budget option for Kazuha, especially if you have C6 Sucrose, where at C6 she gives the elemental damage bonus as well. In terms of, you notice that my Taser Comp, I put Raiden as a anchor position, not a flex position, because with Raiden you do really relieve all the ER requirements, and I'll talk more about it here. In fact, I have it stated here. So flex electro, which is this portion here, this slot here. Basically any electro character is a DPS character capability will do. Fisher gives you decent damage along with good battery. Yaemiko gives good damage. Electro Traveler gives you high focus energy recharging. Lisa provides different strat. And if you use Hakushin, you get some bonus as well, although it lasts for a short period. Like, if I didn't remember, only 6 seconds, and it doesn't work off you. So there are some limitations with regards to that. And obviously Shinobu, we finally have an Electro Healer to allow healing in a Heizou DPS Taser Comp. So if no Raiden, then flex Electro, but ER requirement will be higher. Okay? Don't kid yourself, the ER requirement will definitely be higher without Raiden. My ER requirements on my Taser Comp is lower because of Raiden. So these are the rotations. Okay, pause and go through them if you need to, if you want to check out the steps. And obviously I will test out all these rotations when Yelan is released. Yeah. Okay, now next, Taser artifacts and stats. Now you see the HOD circlet as well as tenacity circlets over here. Target ER is C0 140 ER, C1 plus 100 ER. Okay, so obviously with the weapon substat, if it's higher than this, then you have to, that would be your highest or your target per se. Artifact means that ranking wise, with this amount of ER involved, you no longer need ER sense. So that's why you see me not mentioning ER sense for Taser. And this is the ranking. Okay. And artifact ranking is over here as well. Now, just a quick note, 4 Emblem right now is in the 4th position here, but actually it's 3rd at C0. It's 4th starting from C1 plus. So from C1 to C6 is at the 4th position, for C0 is in the 3rd position. But honestly speaking, when you're having a low ER, I don't really recommend using 4 Emblem, because it's not very intuitive using those pieces. Try not get ER on 4 Emblem. Well, at least to me, it is the case. Okay, so the best is still the 2 HOD, 2 TOTM. So TLDR, HPA Hydro Crit is highly recommended unless difference artifact value is 0 CV versus a 50 CV. What do I mean by this, right? It means that, let's say, it's actually very hard for me to measure this, to say this, right? But let's say if you have a HP Goblet versus a Hydro Goblet, your Hydro Goblet is 0 CV, your HP Goblet is 50 CV. Likely, or there is a chance that 50 CV may be better, but it really remains to be seen. Okay, actual testing needs to be done for that, and specific math needs to be done with that. But generally speaking, just go for this HP Hydro Crit. 2 HOD, 2 TOTM for Taser artifact. 2 Noblesse, 2 TOTM, which is the second one, is okay too, it's about 1% behind. Okay, now Taser weapons. It's the same 3 weapons if you notice. Aqua, Sacrificial, Slingshot. So these are the rankings, C0 and C1 plus. Basically, the Sacrificial bow at C0 still is pretty decent, because the ER subset is fully used, right? At C0 is 140 ER, Sacrificial bow gives 130.6. So it's not so bad. So TLDR at C0, R3 plus Sacrificial bow is 19% behind R1 Aqua instead of 1.7%. Okay, it's no longer so close, it's 90% behind R1 Aqua. So this scenario here, you can still use Sacrificial. But at C1 plus, Sacrificial bow falls off to 33 to 43% behind, and Slingshot is the second best at 19 to 22% behind Aqua. So I'll say it's a very nice F2P option. So it should be pretty clear which weapon to use at which ranking, which constellation, yeah? Taser, Constellation, and Refinements, these are the Constellation values, assuming using Aqua, and this is the R1 to R5 Aqua value. So yeah, TLDR at C0, use R3 plus Sacrificial bow, at C1, use R5 Slingshot. Remember what we have on the weapon comparison earlier, yeah? Only go for Aqua if you've already gotten C2 plus. Okay? Yelan has the highest C0 C6 value, even in Taser as well. Okay? Now, the last comp, VapeEC Hypercarry. So same thing, Sucrose has the budget option for Kazuha, and okay, this is gonna be a bit long, but basically, unlike Ayato Overweight Hypercarry or the typical Raiden Suit comp, I shouldn't say Raiden Suit comp because it's Ayato, specific to Ayato, where we have to give most of the buffs to Ayato instead of Raiden. We can turn the disadvantage of Yelan not utilizing attack buffs into an advantage into this comp where Raiden gets the full banner buff. Which means rather than overvape, we are trying to go for vapes on Yelan by using Banner's E plus Kazuha's Q to infuse Pyro and give us that sustained off-field Pyro application for Yelan to do forward vapes. Now, if you want to see the details, please refer to the VapeEC Math guide itself. And just bear in mind that the forward vapes really can only be done on the first rotation. So you go forward vapes on first rotation on Yelan and on the first half. On the second rotation, you do your Raiden. Your Raiden starts doing the overvape. And from second rotation onwards, it's going to be Raiden overvape. Why? Because Raiden's E lasts very, very long. So although we delay Raiden's E in the first rotation, its effect will carry over to the second rotation anyway. So essentially, Yelan gets the same buffs as per Taser Comp, but she gets higher HP bonus from A1 passive because this is a full rainbow comp. And she gets to vape on some of the damage too, while Raiden gets both Kazuha and Banner buff. Okay, creating a dual DPS team with different elements. So I pretty like this concept, and based on the damage figures, it does look like it has potential to be very competitive with the Hu Tao comp. Okay, Hu Tao VV. And these are the rotations. Please pause and check them out if you need to. Again, I will test the rotations out when Yelan is released as well. Now, VapeEC artifacts and stats, you see that it's the same two different type artifacts here, HOD and Tenacity. Target wise, it's 140 to 150 ER. C1 plus 100 ER. Artifact main stat, same thing. This is the ranking. This is the artifact ranking. You see that it's pretty much similar to Taser. So TLDR, HP Heizou Crit, highly recommended. 2 HOD, 2 TOTM, highly recommended as well. 2 Novice, 2 TOTM is okay, but it's about 1 to 2% behind. So you start to see a little more gap, but 1 to 2% is still fine. Like if you have a much better Novice pieces over your HOD or Heart of Death pieces, then obviously you go for this. Yeah. Okay, next. VapeEC weapons. Now this time around we have something that's a little different here. We have stringless here instead of Sacrificial. Because in this VapeEC Comp, like I said, we are trying to do some forward vapes on Yelan. That's the reason why you see stringless jumping up here. So this is the ranking for C0, this is the ranking for C6. So basically, before you hit C6, R5 stringless is your second best. Once you hit C6, Slingshot is the second best. Because Slingshot affects NACA. Eh? So at C0, VapeEC R5 stringless outperforms R5 Slingshot to be the second best, behind Aqua by 17%. At C6, Slingshot reclaims its second best position since Slingshot effect is on NACA. Pretty straightforward stuff, right? Now, VapeEC Constellation and Refinements. This is the Constellation value. This is, again, remember this is using Aqua. But if you want to know like what to go for, right? I'll give you the TLDR here. At C0 and C1, use R5 stringless or R5 Slingshot. Because R5 Slingshot, while being only the third at C0, right, and C1, or rather before C6, is still very, very close to stringless. So if you don't have R5 stringless, you can use R5 Slingshot, it's fine. only go for Aqua if you've already gotten C2 plus. Same thing. And the reason why is really that Hydro application is also very important on the C2. But not just that, it's also about the value. Okay? And not to mention how bad the gacha is on the weapon banner. So, yep. So this is hopefully a very quick summary of the entire math series, the 15 different math guides that we have done so far. So thanks for watching. I hope the math series has been helpful to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and this is my Twitch link below. Join me here, yeah? I wish you all good luck, and I wish that you see this screen more when you are pulling for Yelan. Okay? Thanks everyone for watching. Bye.